there. Welcome back to Technology Behind Business. Now, according to the latest research, nearly 70% of marketers plan to increase their use of social media channels, including blogs, Twitter and Facebook over the next year. But as more organisations jump on the social media bandwagon, many are getting distracted by the tools and don't create a strategy. After experiencing no real results, some businesses are now beginning to ask, am I wasting my time with social media? Well, joining us to talk about this today is Jasmine Batcher, Director of Arrow Marketing, Tip Gloria, Digital Strategist at George Patterson Y&R, and Jenny Beattie, Founder of digital communications agency Digital Democracy. Ladies, thanks very much for your time today. Jasmine, I might start with you. With social media obviously becoming a behemoth, if you like, it's incredibly popular. Are there many companies out there sort of diving headfirst in without really understanding what they're doing?
That's true. I mean, going by, hearing from what I hear from our clients, it's, I think all our competitors are on Facebook. I need to be there. And that's the only driving force without knowing why they need to be there, what they're hoping to achieve, who they want to attract. And then few months on and okay, now I have a Facebook and Twitter account. What do I do?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's why having a strategy and a plan will keep the momentum going.
And I mean, what kind of strategies would you suggest?
I think it's really important that the social strategy be aligned to the business objectives, because you really want to make sure that you know what you're trying to achieve in the space before you start. Otherwise, you don't really know what you're measuring. So if you have some business objectives and then you align those to the social strategy, you then know that your benchmark before you started, whether that be sales or customer service queries or whatever it is at a certain level. Then after a certain period of time, and you measure it again after your social activity, you can see whether there's been an uplift or a decrease or whatever the metric is that you're after. And then you can actually see how it's impacting on your business and you can measure it.
Jenny, obviously agree?
Yes, certainly do. I mean, companies often do go into the space and they play around with the tools, they waste a lot of time in the environment, and without that strategy, with those key elements, such as, what content will you produce, which platform's appropriate, and what audiences are you targeting. Therefore, you need to actually have that research done first before you waste your time in the space.
Is there... Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I agree with Jenny. I think having a content strategy is quite critical, because that will both give a direction to your social media objective and also keep the momentum going in terms of what are we promoting, who are we connecting with, what products or services, and really about, as Jenny mentioned, it's all about defining what are the key criteria that we are hoping to achieve and then ticking off.
Does there need to be a degree of patience? I mean, people hear about it, expect to jump in and suddenly, sales to be ringing up. Do you need to be patient?
Yeah, social media is definitely a long-term commitment. I'm sure there's marriages that last shorter lengths of time than you actually need to work at social. Yeah. It's one of those things that, especially now, where the laggers are now jumping in. I suppose the companies that are considering a Facebook presence in this moment in time are way behind their competitors. So in that sense, you really have to kind of work out how long you're going to give it. You're not going to see amazing results in 3 months. You might, but the chances are that you're going to need to give it 6 months or even a year or longer.
And I think depending on the company and, for example, a lot of non-profits in the charitable space have got an enormous amount of goodwill, and they will find that they'll get the lift that a corporate in the space may not get. So I think depending on the company, the product, the environment, those things will all come into play in terms of how long you would expect you'll get lift within the strategy.
I was just going to add to that social media, I think, to me is more like farming. It takes time to grow and nurture and then expect a response than going for the kill. It's just about thinking that, okay, these are people, how closer they are now in my sales funnel. Are they one step closer to becoming a paying customer if sales is your objective and not just looking for that immediate sale?
Do you have to be careful as well with a medium like Twitter that you don't just sort of barrage it with advertising? I mean, is there strategies where you try and sort of create interest through other ways as opposed to here's our latest offer? People go, oh, actually, I'm not that interested.
Yeah, Twitter you have to be quite careful because Twitter itself will punish you for publishing the same links over and over again. You get classified as a spammer.
And that's not good, I'm guessing.
And that's not good, no. So it's actually really important to make sure that the content strategy is in place so that you're talking about a variety of things and you're talking and posting links to different and often third-party sites. It's not all about me. It's then about building a community and actually looking at subject matters or areas of interest that people can engage with. And then the subtle branding is the fact that you, as the company, is the content curator, if you like, on Twitter as a channel.
Tip, there's a growing amount of, I suppose, different social media channels. I mean, the big three mentioned blogs and Facebook and Twitter. I mean, how does a business decide which one is best for them? And is that an important decision to be made? Jenny, sorry, go on. Or Tip, Jenny.
Well, I think the most important thing is to actually go through a listening exercise. And what you do in that process is you establish what the industry conversation is. You look at your competitors in the space and you look at where people are talking. And that's how you define where your money is best spent in terms of those channels. That's not to say that you shouldn't explore all the opportunities that are available, but most people have quite a limited budget in the space, so it's best to look at where the conversations are and actually step in as a company into those channels where those conversations are and start to shape and move those conversations.
Jenny?
And also, I guess, from a research point of view, doing that gap analysis on your competitors. So you don't actually want to go into a crowded space. Even if people are within that environment, it might be particularly popular. If your key three competitors are already there, maybe you need to look at a separate environment or create an environment that's actually going to have a compelling reason for consumers to come and visit.
What if you have to be in that space? You know, it is a crowded space with your competitors. I mean, how do you stand out from the crowd? I mean, obviously that's going to be the key and a difficult one at that.
I tend to think that your blog could be a pivotal point, and that's where you can, get your message shine, and have all other social media sort of emanate from there. So do a blog post, and there you could even define your style, whether you want to be a thought leader, do intellectually stimulating posts, or be controversial, or be objective about it, and then post it on different channels like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and make your blog as the interaction medium where you still keep people within your own space, so to speak, and have a community which is still your own database.
How do you quantify success? I mean, Jenny, is it simply about sales, or do you need to look at other ways to sort of decide whether or not you've been successful, i.e. you getting word of mouth, is your brand becoming more well known?
Well, I think it comes back to really where we started in the conversation, which was about your strategy. So, for example, if you've got a new brand, it may be about getting brand awareness. For many companies, it might be about new product development within the organisation. And so in that case, you may define success as creating, implementing tools such as Yammer within an organisation, a microblogging tool, to facilitate conversations and share knowledge. So for every company, depending on their own strategy, success will be defined in many, many different ways.
I'd like to add to that also things like brand sentiment, like actually getting people to feel better about the brand itself could be quite an important metric. So to reduce negative comments or feelings about the brand and to increase positive feelings will actually have a big impact on the brand overall as well.
All right, ladies, look, thanks very much for coming in today. That's all we have time for. Thanks for your company.
Thank you.
And that is all we have on this week's edition of Technology Behind Business. You can watch the show again on our website at skynews.com.au, and you can follow me on Twitter at Daganixon. I'm James Daganixon. Thanks very much for your company.